Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are the Quantum Crew. I'm Coulter Smith.
I'm Holly Matthews.
Follow here.
And today we'd like to talk to you about soul contracts, understanding the divine purpose of life and the path that you set forth for yourself and for others around you in order to experience and learn from this physical existence on earth that we call life. There's a beautiful, loving process that goes involved in the spiritual world before we incarnate into these bodies that more or less dictate our lives and where we're going to be, where we're headed, where we want to go. So we'd like to, in 10 minutes or so, just give you a little clip of how soul contracts work and what's their purpose.
Well, basically, before we come to Earth, we get together with a group, our soul group, or just a group of individuals that maybe we've incarnated with a few times, and we decide what it is we want to accomplish here on Earth, and we make contracts with one another, or we make contracts with ourselves on what it is that we want to accomplish. Very detailed process, and so each one then comes into Earth life with certain gifts that they're going to give to the other person, or certain challenges that they're going to give to the other
Sure.
person. In understanding our soul contracts, it is what helps us to be more connected to the people around us. Understand why we have irritating people in our life, why we have people that are constantly helping us to grow and change and challenge. They might be our master teachers, and we're simply thinking that they're driving us crazy. So
Sure.
there's some wonderful opportunities for us to be able to explore deeper levels of our communication here with others as we begin to understand soul contracts.
One of the other things is that God or Great Spirit or however you want to call her, as we all know God is a woman, that she went to all this trouble to create this amazing life that we have. For us to come around just bouncing off of walls and haphazardly trying to figure it all out. Essentially, the soul contracts give us a basic outline of what we want to accomplish here, and we set up the people in our lives and situations to give us those lessons so that we get some things done while we're bouncing against walls trying to figure it all out. So, yeah.
A little bit of both. We've got some free will in there and choice, and then we've got some unknowns in there.
Well, the thing about the soul contracts is that it kind of assaults the Western mind. Half the world believes in predestination of some kind, which, soul contracts kind of insinuate. So I think it's a blending of East and West where what's that statement? Give me the understanding to know the things that I can change and the wisdom to know the difference.
Sure.
And I think that that's kind of the blending of East and West ideas of soul contracts and
Yeah,
predestination.
there's always free will, but it's in your contract to meet a certain individual
Yeah.
or have a certain situation, 99.9% of the time, it's going to happen, and then it's your free will to choose which way to go after that. And I attribute this to the movie Sleepless in Seattle, and it's a great way of understanding where you have Meg Ryan in New York and you have Tom Hanks in Seattle, and if you guys know the movie, it basically they are drawn to each other. Meg Ryan just says, "I have to meet this guy. I don't know why. I just have to meet him." She has this overwhelming urge to fly to Seattle and meet Tom Hanks, and that's almost in a way of how soul contracts works. It's just you have this vibe inside of you that says, I'm supposed to be with this person, or I'm supposed to meet this person, I'm supposed to learn from this arrangement or this experience. And then it's up to you and your free will to take it one way or another. We've used the analogy of vines on a tree, where you have your main path, what you want to accomplish, the type of work you want to do, and then you have all your subsidiary paths. I call them connection points, where you can go one way, you can go another. You can choose one perspective and you can go a different reality, and ultimately everything builds up one way, little bit by little bit by little bit, into your overall life path. And soul contracts are a blueprint to help you to get from one way to another.
Well, the thing is, once you realize that you have agreed to soul contracts, guess what? You can change them. And this is the thing, most people who can't even think of embracing such a concept as soul contracts, they run their lives on automatic depending upon the blueprint. So there really is a certain amount of power. And they say the key to jumping off the wheel of karma is to realize that you're on a wheel. So and here's the deal. I mean, you may not choose to change your contracts, but there is a certain amount of power that you have by just becoming aware of the fact that you do indeed have soul contracts.
And you're learning from different experiences, and you're saying, okay, you're stuck in a situation, whatever that
Right.
might be. And
Yep.
maybe your soul contract predicted, or you chose to be in that situation, and now you've learned your lesson, and
Right.
you want to move on. That's where Paul was talking about changing your soul contract, proclaiming to yourself and to the universe that I've already experienced what I need to experience, and I'd like to move on from this reality that I choose, if it in fact is
Well,
a negative reality.
especially if you're repeating the same thing over and
Over and
over
over.
again, the same kind of destructive or negative relationships, for instance, you want to be aware that, okay, I'm on this treadmill, and it's like, time to stop this contract.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so.
I think too, with these contracts, the whole idea is getting the lesson out of it.
Yes,
You know, if you're wanting
very important.
to skip that step and just get
Yeah.
out of a relationship by not understanding what it's trying to teach
Won't
you,
work.
it's not going to work because you're
Yeah.
going to repeat the same thing again. These amazing fractal cycles that Greg Braden talks about, amazing concept. I see it all the time in readings with people. They get caught in and they're going to repeat them and repeat them. So as we stop and we find the lessons of what it is they're trying to learn or what's important from the relationship, once they get that tool and understanding, they can then release it, and they've got a whole new future path opens up before them.
Absolutely. And then understanding the whole scope of life and how the cycle of life works. It's beautiful in understanding where you go in this physical reality with a blueprint of your life, a soul contract. You act out like in a play,
Mhm,
and you
yes.
have your different problems and your goods and bads, ups and downs. And when you cross over into the non-physical, you do have what's called a life review, and you review your life and you say, how did I do? Did I do well? And it's a joyous time. It's a time of seeing how well you reacted to certain situations, how much you excelled, and how much you succeeded on this physical plane. And your actions and intentions will dictate where you go next.
And you know, and it's, I don't want people to be afraid of the fact that when you go and have to do this review, that it's some scary, weird thing. You're a different type of person once you go through the doorway of passing from this world to the next. You realize, oh my God, there is life after death, and there's a whole other perception of reality. And so it's not going to be like, oh my God, what did I do? It's not that emotional dread or guilt or judgment. It's a loving experience. You're there with your angels. You're so loving being where you are that you're so filled with joy because those worlds are so beautiful that you're not freaking out because you didn't fulfill a certain level of your contract. So, okay, fine, I'll do it better next time. I mean, it's not a scary thing.
Not
so.
even close.
It is, I anticipate it. I'm
Right.
actually in anticipation of going, all right, I want to see how this played out. I want to
Right.
see how well I did and what did I accomplish and what do I still need to work on again. It's a beautiful
Yep.
blend, and watching how it all plays out. Doesn't mean I got it down perfect here by any means. That's probably not the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
But I just want to see what the growth and expansion is. That's all.
We're
Just-
perfect in our imperfection, okay, folks? It's not
Love
about
that.
doing everything right. We're perfect just as we are.
Great. And this is just a quick snapshot of how soul contracts work. There's many more intricacies in how this works on a day-to-day basis and how the whole concept of the reincarnation and soul contracts work. So we encourage you to check us out on the Voice America channel on our radio show. Go to voiceamerica.com. Look up the Quantum Crew. We have a whole hour show on soul contracts, understanding your divine purpose, where you're going and where you want to be. It's a fascinating and enlightening discussion that is sure to open up some eyes and open up your hearts to other realities. So we hope you enjoyed this quick conversation. We're the Quantum Crew, and see you next time.
Bye.
Blessings to you.